How we doing, guys? And it is official. Mikel Arteta has signed a new 3-year contract at Arsenal. He is here to stay until 2027. Now, some people were panicking. Some people were saying, why is it not done? Mikel Arteta has always said he has no intentions of leaving. He's perfectly calm and relaxed about the situation. And when the right time, arises, he will sign that contract. And that's exactly what is done. And I am very, very happy about it. Now, I'm going to break a few things down because some of you need a little education. There are Arsenal fans, a very, very small minority of Arsenal fans. Let's get that one clear straight away. Very small minority. Loud, but very small. Okay? Don't want Mikel Arteta to stay. They have this problem. They think that he's not a good manager and that they want change and all this bullshit. All right? Let me just clarify a few things for you guys. I'll have a lot of people saying to me, people want what's best for the club. They want to win trophies. And you were like that under Arsene Wenger and everything else. And so were these people. And I'll explain the differences as to what this situation is. So under, nearly said Mikel Arteta, but under Arsene Wenger, not only were we not winning the big trophies and Premier Leagues, Champions League, that's what I mean by that. We weren't even challenging. The reason why we moved to the Emirates was to challenge with Bayern Munich, as Ivan Gazidis said. We were struggling and scraping to finish in 4th place. We were barely getting past the last 16 of the Champions League. And we'd throw in the odd FA Cup just to paper over some cracks. And at the time, you're absolutely buzzing. You're emotional and you're caught in this trophy emotion that you have on the day and everything else. And the harsh reality is when you look at it, you're like, for a club the size of Arsenal, the odd FA Cup is just not good enough. And that when you're being charged the prices that we're being charged as fans and everything else, season tickets and whatnot, and the club make the revenue that it has and it's got the owners it has with the amount of money they have, you need to be aiming higher. So the first step is to challenge. And then once you start to challenge, then you've got to deliver. And what was happening at the club was an absolute shambles. We had players that were running down contracts. We had our best players on ridiculous wages. And, we weren't giving them the rest of the tools to succeed. That you think of Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, prime examples. Mesut Ozil was well on course to breaking the assist record by Christmas. And he had Olivier Giroud. Alexis Sanchez was just world class and you just put a load of crap around him. And that was the big problem. And, like I said, running down those contracts was a big issue. And then obviously we went to Unai Emery. And then we go to Mikel Arteta. And it's kind of 4 years in now. And what I look at and I think to myself, right, okay. First couple of years is a complete and utter rebuild. Now, he starts great. He wins the FA Cup. But again, it's great. It's nice and everything else. It's a trophy to the cabinet. But it's not what we really want. We want another Premier League. Ultimately, we want a Champions League. The Holy Grail that we've never won. So those first 2 years is sorting that out. And that's what Mikel Arteta does, first and foremost. He has to sort the mess out in terms of players that shouldn't be there, the contracts, the whole rebuild and everything else. And that's exactly what he's done in those first couple of years. He's overseen a major overhaul at the club. Players ain't on contracts and running them down to the final years now. I think we have within the top 2, I believe it is, most valuable squads in the Premier League now. The players we have, if somebody like a Real Madrid, for example, comes in for one of our big players, there's talk of William Saliba, for example, in the next couple of years. you know that we're not losing this player for 15, 20 million or free. We're going to be selling these players for over £100 million. William Saliba, for me, is the best centre-back in the Premier League. And it's a simple fact at the end of the day. So those first 2 years, that's what Mikel Arteta was doing. Then the next step is to go up that level and to challenge and to win something. And in the last 2 years, we've been very, very, very unfortunate not to win the Premier League. We've been very unfortunate that we've came across a absolute robot in Manchester City. Liverpool will tell you exactly what that feels like. This is a team that were finishing with 90 odd points and still finishing second. And 2 seasons ago, I feel that, the inexperience and the lack of being in that situation cost us in the running. But did Arsenal and Mikel Arteta and everybody else come back last season and learn from that? Yes, they did. 2024 alone, we've only lost to Aston Villa in the Premier League. We're in mid-September. Our record since the turn of the year has been absolutely phenomenal. And yet it still wasn't enough to win the Premier League. Man City went on a stupid run. And you now have to be so perfect. It's ridiculous. I remember back in the day when title run-ins and the need for those results weren't really until February, March time. And you weren't really worried if you lost 2, 3, 4 games before that, because you knew that once you get to that business end is where it's really going to be, at its most important. Now, you have to be at it from the first game. We're currently 2 points behind Man City right now. And I'm like, 2 points behind Man City already. It's like you have to be so near perfect. That's how ridiculous it is right now. So Mikel Arteta has got us competing again. He's got us competing again. He does now need to deliver. He does need to bring us a big trophy. But he's there. We're in that conversation. We're exactly where we wanted to be under Arsene Wenger. We're exactly where we should have been, under Arsene Wenger. But we faded away and we obviously wasn't. And the difference is that a lot of these people have to speak negatively because nobody gives a shit what they've got to say if they try to speak positively. And that's the big difference. I'll speak negatively when I need to about certain things and I don't like a result or performance or whatever it might be. But I'll also speak positively when I need to and when it warrants it. Even under Arsene Wenger, for all the criticism, I praised him when he got it right. But there's some people out there that can't praise the manager, that can't say good things, because nobody gives a shit what you've got to say. So you have to spew all this nonsense and absolute crap about the manager because it's the only way anyone will listen. Rats. Every single fucking one of you. Rats. And I've seen it for too long. So many people reactionary and then change their tune within 5 minutes. Making t-shirts about the manager or, telling him to fuck off and everything else. We've seen them all. We've seen it. And then now, remember all the arguments that I used to have on podcasts where I backed the manager at the most toughest of times. And I used to get people tell me that I was deluded and didn't know what I was talking about. And he needed to leave now. Instantly. Right this minute. He's finished. He's no good. Remember all that? Within these next 3 years, Mikel Arteta will deliver the Premier League title. I'm telling you that now. I'm that confident of it. He will deliver the Premier League title. Now, other fans of other clubs, there seems to be loads of them that are like, oh yeah, this is wonderful news. 3 more years of not winning anything. Unless you're a Man City fan, not a single fan of any other club in the Premier League can talk to me about Mikel Arteta. Because none of you have even got near us in the last 2 seasons that we've been competing again. It's only because of us that Man City have not been walking away and making this Premier League a farmers' league. I've got Manchester United fans above all people trying to sit and laugh about our manager. Are you actually taking the piss? You've got the Dutch version of the guy from the Crystal Maze and you seem to think you're going to achieve something. Are you stupid? You finished 30 points behind us last season. You've lost 2 of your opening 3 games this season. And you want to sit and mock our manager? Are you dumb? Honestly, give your heads a wobble. You absolute cretinous fools. About 3 more years. Manchester United are doing the exact same things you laughed about with us under Arsene Wenger, which is never competing for the big trophies and winning the odd FA Cup and finishing 8th. You lot used to laugh at us for that. We were going mad at our manager and wanting change when that was happening. And you lot have got the cheek to sit there and say, it's a trophy, we're doing something. And your manager is culpable for making half of you believe that that's even acceptable for a club the size of Manchester United. You look at him, his press conference last time out when you got absolutely done over by Liverpool, and he's sitting there saying about nobody else apart from Man City has won more than us. He's actually that deluded. He believes that he's achieving something. He doesn't care about progression in the Premier League. And you lot are buying into that. And you're trying to sit there and laugh at us? You fools. Don't even chat to me. Liverpool, listen, under Jurgen Klopp, unbelievable. They've had a great start under the new manager and everything. But again, another side that hasn't been near us in the last couple of years. But I give my respect to Liverpool for what they've done over the last few years. And they were in a similar situation to us, where they were the only one challenging Man City. And it still wasn't good enough sometimes. 90 odd points and it still wasn't enough. And you're left there scratching your head going, what can I do? It's the Liverpool fans. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but a lot of them, they're not saying anything anyway. It's Manchester United, Chelsea fans, Tottenham, don't even start. But yeah, listen, what can I say? I'm over the moon about it. Mikel Arteta has signed a new contract to Arsenal. 3 years. I am over the moon. If you're not, as an Arsenal fan, give your head a wobble, get out more. Just don't bother. Just don't bother anymore. And if you're an opposition fan that's trying to use some kind of leverage to have a go at us, get near us and then you can have a bit of a conversation with us. But when you're finishing 30 odd points behind us, don't even entertain a conversation. You're not in our same bracket. It's as simple as that. So until you are, then we'll have that conversation. But you're not. So there you go. Listen, that's it. Mikel Arteta signed his new contract. I've explained my reasoning why. I've explained everything, outlined everything. It's as simple as that. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.